If you want to know how to play Phase 10, you've come to the right place. By the end of this video, you'll know how to play Phase 10. Now, Phase 10 is a card game, and I have found the exact version online, so I'm going to be able to teach it to you using this version. This video is broken into two parts. Number one is I'm going to go over the rules, and then part two is I'm going to go ahead and play a few rounds. Now, like all my videos, I really over-explain things, so if I say something and it's not clear, stick with me. I'll probably repeat myself a different way that makes it clear, and I do that with all my videos on this channel, so if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And the last thing I'll say is I have all kinds of other puzzle games and cards games. I have Uno, I have Yahtzee, how to play so many games. So I'm really excited to do Phase 10. The idea of Phase 10 is that you need to go out by discarding your cards and by laying all your cards on the table to win the round. The deck has cards from 1 to 12 with 4 different colors: blue, red, green, and yellow. There's also wild cards and skip cards, and I'll get to that in a second. You can play from 2 to 6 players, but the sweet spot is around 3 to 4 players in my opinion. People deal in a clockwise motion, and each deals 10 cards to each person, including themselves. They then place the undealt cards face down in a draw pile, turning over the top card to create an discard pile. The object of the game is to be the first person to complete all 10 phases. The object of each round is to be the first person to play all their cards. And much like so many other games, including Uno, it starts by you either drawing a card from the discard pile or the draw pile, and then you end your turn by laying down another card from your hand into the discard pile. But unlike, say, Uno, where you're just trying to go down, what makes Phase 10 different is that there's 10 levels or 10 phases, and in every phase they give you what you need to do to go down. So this is the opening phase. This is Phase 1, and it's 2 sets of 3s. See, set of 3, set of 3. I need to lay down 2 sets of 3s. To lay down a phase, the phase must be complete. You cannot lay down partial phases. You need to lay down your complete phase. So if it's 2 sets of 3, you need to be able to lay down 2 sets, not 1 set. And a phase changes as you move up rounds. A set is 2 or more cards of the same number. A run is 4 or more cards in sequential order, but not necessarily of the same color. So after you lay down your phase, it's not over. The round ends when somebody has all their cards gone. So on your turn, you're still either drawing from the draw pile or the discard pile and ending your turn by discarding a card. And during that time, if you're able to then draw cards that allow you to add to your phase, so for example, you had 3 3s, now you have more 3s in your hand, you could add your 3s to that and then discard. You have fewer cards in your hand. Additionally, you can do what they call hitting. And hitting means that you actually will lay your cards on other people's phases that work, which is very similar to gin rummy. A round is over when somebody is able to lay down all their cards in that round, and then everyone moves on to the next round. So there are wild cards and there are skip cards. Wild cards are essentially exactly what they say. They are wild. They can be any card that you want it to be in terms of the number or the color. However, what you can't do is you can't create a set of only wild cards. For example, if you had a set of 3 and you had 3 wild cards, you can't do that. You actually need 1 actual card in there, and then you could have 2 wild cards to make up that set of 3. And then as far as skip is concerned, a skip card, you play it as your discard, and what it does is it skips either the person to your left or a person that you choose before it comes back around to you for your next turn. You cannot pick up a skip card, by the way, from the discard pile. So here's the twist of the game. Everybody is going through all 10 phases at their own level. So let's take a look at the rule card. The rule card is the order of the 10 phases that you need to do in order to win. So here they are. It's the 2 sets of 3, then the set of 3 and the run of 4, the set of 4 and the run of 4, and you need to go all the way and get it to the 10th one. And I'll put a link to this card below so you can see the 10 phases. Everyone should have the card in front of them so they know what they're playing next. Now, this variation is really important. There's almost two ways to play it. There's the actual way and a simpler way. And the simpler way to me is better for kids or people who are learning. The actual way to play this is that if you didn't get to lay down your phase during that round, then in the next round, you still have to play the same phase that you didn't get to. Now, that doesn't mean you play the same round if you don't win. It just means the phase. So if it was 2 sets of 3 and you didn't for some reason get to even lay down your phase of 2 sets of 3 during the round and everybody else did, everybody moves on to the next phase on the phase card, but you don't advance. So it's a situation where you could be on, say, phase 4 and everyone else is on phase 5. It's one of the reasons that everyone needs that phase card in front of them. But the other way to play it, which is more simple, which is just that you're going to play 10 rounds and each one you'll go up phases one at a time. So if you don't make the phase, it's okay. Everyone just advances collectively round to round to the next phase. It's simpler, it's more for beginners, and truthfully, in some ways, it's more fun. Whenever a player discards their last card of their hand, then the round ends and every other player scores points for all the remaining cards in their hand. You mark these on a score sheet. And let's talk about points too, because scoring is based on a point system. Players are given points based on the cards remaining in their hand once the round is over. So if you have a 1 through 9 in your hand, when a person goes out and that round is over, that's 5 points per card. 10s through 12 cost you 10 points. A skip card costs you 15 points, and a wild card costs you 25 points. So you don't really want to hold on to the skip and the wild cards. So we're going to start by picking up a discard, and we picked up a 3, so now we have 3 3s. But you can't lay down 3 3s because, remember, you need a set of 3 and another set of 3. You need 2 sets of 3s to even lay down. So right now we have to collect it in our hands. We have 1 set of 3, and now we have nothing in our hands, so we discard. My opponent goes ahead and draws a card and then discarded a 5. It's our turn. Let's draw another card. And now we have a wild card. So we do have 2 sets of 3s. So we can lay them down. 1, 2, 3. 1 set of 3s. And 1, 2 using the wild. Those 8s make another set of 3s. Now, just because I've completed the round doesn't mean this round is over. You have to get rid of all your cards. So we can go ahead and discard and let the opponent take his turn. It looks like he was able to lay down cards. He was able to lay down 3 7s and 3 9s, and he discarded a 10. And we begin every turn by drawing a card, but because he had those 7s, and we have 7s in our hands, we can lay off our 7s on his 7s. So we're getting closer to now getting rid of all of our cards. Remember, the round is over when all the cards are done. We'll discard this 11. My opponent picked up an 8 and was able to lay off the 8 on mine, and he discarded an 11. It's my turn. I'll draw, and I have a skip card. So I go ahead and I lay my skip card down on the discard pile, and my opponent, his turn is skipped. Say skip, and it's my turn again. So I draw again. Oh, I've got a number 3. I can lay the 3 down on myself. I'll discard a 2. I've only got 1 card left. My opponent now goes, and he actually discarded an 8, which is great for me because I can pull it down and use it in my 8s and then discard my last card, and voila, I have completed that round. And that's how the game is played. A lot of fun. Now, this was the card game version. The app version is similar, but it's designed for solo play. It's more like, say, Candy Crush, where you conquer levels and puzzles and work your way up the ladder. And I'll do a video on that mobile version as well. Be sure to check out my hundreds of other puzzle and game tutorials on this channel and subscribe so you're always alerted of new videos I make. I'll leave a link to get your own set of phase cards in the comments and the descriptions, and I'll see you in the next one.